Welcome back to Simplify Your Small Business. David Wolf here with Melanie Rembrandt. Melanie,
hi, David. How are you today?
Hey, doing great. Great to be back with you. Thanks for listening to Simplify. I want to remind everyone that Melanie is launching a very new project that's designed to really help small business owners or any business owner learn the ins and outs of PR. You can find it at smallbusinesspracademy.com. So I want to get that out there and support Melanie. This is a fabulous project, leveraging years and years of her experience to help you, the business owner, and also keep it simple, right? So thanks, Melanie. Great work you're doing.
Oh, thanks, David. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And in this podcast of Simplify, this edition, we're going to talk about what happens after your big PR campaign. So you've done this big campaign. Now what, right?
Exactly. I mean, a lot of people think I was going to send out a press release. The media are going to call me. I'm done. And that couldn't be more far from the truth.
The work really happens once it's out there, right?
Exactly. I mean, there's some things you need to do because the follow-up and what happens after you get that media interview is what's important. And there are three things I like to focus on. First of all, you want to, get your site ready. When people hear you on an interview, the first thing they're going to do is go to your website. So you really want to make sure the appropriate content is there and also a way to capture their information, their email, name, so you can, establish a long-term relationship with them, send them valuable information, etc.
Yeah. So we have this idea about getting your website ready, and really you want to give them a place to splash, communicate with them, forms and content, right? Because you're doing a list building effort, right? So you want to build your email list. All those things are part and parcel to having your website really ready so that you can receive the response from your campaign.
Right, and part of that is you don't want to make a bad impression. You go through all this work to get a media interview. People go to your website, and if it looks horrible, the links don't work, you just spent all that time and effort on a media interview and ruined everything.
Yeah, you don't want to just jump into this if you don't have a place for people to land, that actionable event, the desirable behavior you want them to take. So cool. And then, following up on that, what can you offer people when you do a media interview? I mean, you want them to not only visit the landing page and maybe they get something of value for free, a report, a white paper, a course, a mini course, a book, something. But you suggest, and I agree with you here, that, if you want to fill and begin to get, not only fill your funnel, but get a relationship started with potential clients or customers, you start by showing up with stuff that they can use right away, right?
Exactly. And now that you know this, if you start watching television interviews, hear radio interviews, you'll notice they all have an offer. Go to my site for my free tip sheet, my free ebook, etc. Right. And they're doing that for a reason because they're providing some free value, but in exchange, they're getting your contact information.
Absolutely. It's a good energy exchange, and it begins the journey for a new relationship with a client or customer. And then finally, the follow-up piece of all of this. You've got to check links. You've got to check results. Have a process in place. And of course, you're really good at this metric stuff, so I'll toss it to you to flesh out whatever I just said.
Well, basically, after a media interview goes live and you've got your website set up, check to see how many people gave you their contact information and how many people asked for your ebook offer, etc.
Yeah.
And then you can tell what they're really interested in, prepare additional content that's valuable and that they want to hear about. But, keep it simple. You want to provide something valuable when you go on a media interview. Otherwise, you just blew the media interview opportunity.
Well, exactly. And I think, even in the midst of an interview, we have a tendency, some of us do, if we're creative, and many small business or any business owners can be creative, and you start to create new things and you start to edit your own copy points or your own, the points you want to make on a media interview, and you overthink it and you overcomplicate it. So part of this, I love just this idea of just keeping things simple and just keep it bullet pointy and keep it easy to deliver in terms of messaging so that it's not confusing. There's not a lot going on. So, after your big PR campaign, just make sure you're ready. Have a website that's ready. Have an offer something of value you can offer the people that do respond to the PR campaign, and then make sure you follow up and measure. Anything else you'd add before we close it out, Melanie?
Well, it just like the name of our show says, to keep it simple and simplify your small business. And this will also help keep your nerves at bay too if you keep it simple it will also help with how you project yourself at the media interview.
Oh, very, very cool. Melanie Rembrandt, you can reach her at rembrandtwrites.com. Also check out the smallbusinesspracademy.com. And my company is audivita.com at audivita.com. We are into podcasts and audiobook production. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Melanie.
Thanks, David. Have a great day, everyone.